wish you all a happy Diwali and welcome back to my channel Robi Ramla, and this is me RJ Yoga. In the previous segments we did visit a few places that you could visit in Bangalore, and this episode we are going to visit places of worship, and I'm going to predominantly cover places which are at least 100 years old. So shall we start?
Someshwara Temple is one of the oldest temples in Bengaluru. It was built during the Chola period and it was later developed and expanded during the Vijayanagara Empire period. You could also see the sculptures of Yali, which itself is a proof that this temple is more than 1000 years old. There are inscriptions on the inner wall of the temple, but it is not clear and it is worn out. I tried to find other inscriptions, but to my disappointment, I couldn't find one. While it is important to maintain the temple and to keep them intact, it is equally important to ensure we don't erase our history in the name of renovation. I heard there is a Kalyani which was excavated in 2010 and I went in search of it. I walked up and down the streets around the temple and then figured out that the Kalyani was right next to the main temple tower. It was covered with plants, trash and other waste materials. It was really very sad to see the Kalyani in that state. Before the tank was excavated, there was a dairy that stood top of it which gradually disappeared over a period of time. You could see disfigured elephants and broken pillars of the Kalyani. There are written documents and evidences that the Kalyani was in use till 1885, and the researchers say that British must have closed the Kalyani during the 1896 plague. I'm glad that the Kalyani was given a rebirth, and I hope to see it in a better condition next time when I visit this temple.
At the first glance, I was wondering whether this was a church or a cottage. Welcome to All Saints Church. The foundation stone for the structure was laid in the year 1869 and the church was completed in 1870.
It is a structure with a lovely low ceiling and looks almost like a fairy tale cottage. The tiled roof lets a plenty of light through the skylights and makes the church warm and welcoming. This place has so much peace that it is impossible for one to explain it in words. You need to visit this place to experience that. The Anjaneya Swami temple is said to be more than 150 years old, and this temple is dedicated to Lord Anjaneya.
And did you know, this particular idol sheds tears on every Hanuman Jayanti, and this happens only at this place. And we do not know the reason why this happens.
The temple is usually crowded on Saturdays. Devotees believe that this temple is very powerful and wish fulfilling. Holy Trinity Church, located at the Trinity Circle at the east end of MG Road, is a major landmark in Bengaluru. It was built in 1851 for the British regiment stationed in the city. The English Renaissance style church can accommodate 700 people and is regarded as the largest military church in South India. The church completed 170 years this year and still shines as it would have done then. Bull Temple. The temple was built around 1573 by Kempe Gowda, and the idol of Nandi was carved from a single stone of granite and features a Shivalingam behind it. The Nandi is said to be the biggest in the world. According to native myths, The area was well known for rich cultivation of groundnuts, but there was a bull in the region which used to damage all the crops. As the damages grew bigger and bigger, the farmers became worried and eventually decided to build a temple for the bull in hopes of appeasing it. Miraculously, the bull stopped ramping the crops after the construction of the temple, and the farmers, overjoyed that the bull has been pacified, began conducting a groundnut fair beside the temple. It is traditionally held in the months of November or December, wherein the first harvest of the crops are offered to Nandi temple by the farmers. St. Andrew's Church, that is located on the Cubban Road, is of a massive orthodoxical Presbyterian Scottish architecture, with a tall belfry and a chiming clock at the apex of its tower. The foundation stone of this magnificent structure was laid in the year 1864, and the church was completed and opened for worship in the year 1866. St. Andrew's Church celebrated its 150 years anniversary on 20th November 2014. The church is named after St. Andrew, the patron saint of Scotland. The pipe organ in this church was installed in 1881, and it is one of the rarest musical instruments in India. With this music, who wouldn't want to walk down the aisle on their wedding day? Most of us have heard of Tanjavur Big Temple or the Brihadeshwara Temple. Some of us might have also visited it. It is indeed an architectural marvel even today as it was centuries ago. And would you believe if I say that this temple is older than the majestic Brihadeshwara Temple? Yes, this temple is older than the Tanjavur Big Temple or the Brihadeshwara Temple. Chokkanatha Swami Temple is said to be the oldest temple in Bengaluru, and it is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. Based on the inscriptions, the temple is at least 1200 years old. In the inscriptions, it is mentioned that Domluru was called as Tomalur or Desimanikapattanam. During Rajaraja Chola I's reign, the Gangas were defeated and Bengaluru came under the control of Cholas. Later they built a number of temples in and around Bangalore, and if what we read is right, then this temple might be the first one that was built by the Cholas in Bengaluru. Predominantly, Cholas built temples for Lord Shiva, but this temple was raised for Lord Vishnu. Why did the Cholas raise a temple for Lord Vishnu? I looked for answers from every available source, but I couldn't find one. If you want to experience pranic or the cosmic energy, then you must visit this place, as there are 12 pranic points that is identified in this temple. One has to stand inside the square facing the shrine and pray for at least 2 minutes to experience the benefit of cosmic energy at these points. You will be surprised to note that many Bangaloreans do not know about the importance and greatness of this temple. Not only that, even the Google map does not give the right location of this temple. I have provided the correct location details for your reference in the description.
If you like this video, click on the thumbs up icon and consider subscribing to my channel Roadway Rambler, and I'll meet you all next week. Until then, this is RJ Yoganan signing off.